Hey everyone, how are you? It is really early morning here, about 11 a.m. Still not used to doing this in winter when it's freezing and all I want to do is hibernate in the morning. But how are you all? I hate mornings. Good to see you. DJ, hey, how's it going? Laura T, thank you, Laura, for your donation last night. I really appreciate it. I'll talk more about that later. Um, DJ says, are you staying warm enough with the cold weather? No, it is like this morning it was down to like 1 degree here or something. It was freezing. Very, very cold. Hey Shasta, how are you? Good to see you. Kim, Lynn D, good to have you. Laurie, what does Laurie say? I was trolling on another trio. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame to see that sometimes the wrong people get everything and the right people don't get a whole heap. But if we actually made anything, I would donate to charity too. Actually, I have a few that I have lined up that if we ever do make anything, like, decent enough, I will support them. Especially there's one in Sydney that is a church, but it has a giant car park, and it allows women to sleep, if they can't find a shelter, they have this car park, and it's manned, with security every night, female security, and it allows them to have somewhere to go in a vehicle, even if they can't find solid shelter. And it's like they have food and they can go in and have showers and stuff like that. But it's somewhere safe to park in a vehicle where they're not going to get killed or harassed or sexually assaulted, that type of thing. So if we ever get there, that's one of the charities I'd like to support. Um, hey, Peekaboo Cockatiel, how are you? Rachel, Sienna, Marlene, Edget. Who else is here? Kim's here. Hey, Kim. Gambler, good to have you. Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. Have a great day, Canada. Hope everyone is celebrating. Laura G is here too. Marilyn Landis. All right. And Emily Narb. Hey, Emily. The big story today is that, well, there's two, in my opinion. One is the hung jury. I think everyone's seen it by now that we're not getting a verdict in that trial of the woman accused of killing her police officer husband or whatever. Yeah, we're not getting anything with that. That is a very split jury. They said 3 want to convict, 3 not to convict, and that was it. They were just like, we tried, we can't make any common ground. The judge goes, "Do you want another hour?" And they're like, "Not really. we can't find any, you know, we can't build any bridges." So that is another trial in the bin. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see what they're going to do. But the other one today is, we'll go through that a bit later. But this is the one we had been waiting for confirmation, and it's horrible. It's like we're waiting for confirmation of something horrible. That's what it feels like. But it's this. It's uh, the assault kit, I guess, on Jocelyn, the 12-year-old girl that was found in the creek near Houston. It says 12-year-old girl found in creek had been SA'd. Houston Forensic Science Center says, great. I mean, it's like, should we be really looking forward to this? No. It's a horrible piece of news, but at least it means the people that did it will be held accountable. Hey guys, how are you? I'm here, I promise. Okay. Let me play you the little update and then I'll talk about it.
Story are in jail, and we've learned they have immigration holds, so they won't be getting out. ABC 13's Luke Jones has the update from court tonight.
They were on the 4 p.m. docket, but we waited hours, well after 8 p.m., for them to finally appear, only for a magistrate to announce they were refusing to appear. Now, probable cause courts, normally where bail is set,
Actually, that one's got nothing to do with it. I think that's an older one. That's okay. It says, Jocelyn, the 12-year-old girl whose body was found in a creek north of Houston in June, was SA'd. Result from the Houston Forensic Science Center confirmed on Monday. Sources told ABC 13 Courtney Fisher the district attorney's office received the results from HFSC on Sunday, so like 1 day ago. They're saying the 2 guys will now are charged with capital murder and they're saying the girl was strangled to death. Both men have been arrested and at last check remain in jail on $10 million bond. Do you think they will post that bond? According to Texas law, because of her age, both men were not eligible for the death penalty. However, the DA said last week if sexual assault was found, that would make the case death penalty eligible, and the state would then ask for no bond. Well, that makes sense. Here's the photo of those two guys when they were booked in. Yeah, there's the details about the case. According to the court docs, they lured the 12-year-old under a bridge where they remained with her for over 2 hours. Trigger warning. They took her pants off, tied her up, killed her, and threw her body in a bayou. So I don't know what you want to do with that, but it's just a living nightmare. It really is. Investigators say they believe Jocelyn snuck out of her house around 10 p.m. Sunday, June 16th. According to court documents, the two suspects asked her for directions after encountering her. Court documents allege the men then lured Jocelyn underneath the bridge, where they basically bailed her up for a couple of hours. You know, you guys can guess what they did to her, and then ended her life. They said a bystander found her floating body in a creek shortly before 7 a.m. the next morning. The state added that Jocelyn and the men were seen on video at approximately 12:57 a.m. on June 17th walking down by the bayou. About 3 or 4 a.m., only the two men emerged and returned. An autopsy confirmed the cause of death was strangulation. The state said it interviewed witnesses who told them they saw the men at Ojos Locos hours before Jocelyn's murder. According to another witness, one of them confessed, and is it Pena? Confessed, and Martinez did something bad after. Okay, so they're saying that they tried to blame it on the other one. One of the guys tried to say it was all him. He did everything bad. I was just watching. I didn't do anything. Sure, buddy. They said both men worked construction and had allegedly asked their boss for the funds after explaining what happened. So yeah, that's part of it. After they did this to Jocelyn, they were like, "Oh, we have to get out of town, you know? We have to get out of here." So they rang their boss at the construction company and asked for money to skip town. Explained to him what happened. The boss went, "Give me about 20 minutes. I'm going to try and see what I can do for you, and I'll call you back." So he hung up the phone, and then he picked up the phone, and he went, "Yeah, is this the Houston PD? Yeah, these guys called me. You guys are talking about that girl. Think this might be related." And he actually called it in and got that information to them. Yeah, it's very interesting. Marilyn Landis, 2 hours. Yeah, long time to be. It's a long time to have your life flash before your eyes, probably several times for that poor girl. She wouldn't have known what was happening. ICE, yeah, immigration. I just feel like we've all snuck out of the house before, even at 12 years old. I might have been a little older than that. But I think we've all done stupid things, right? And somehow managed to make it home. This poor girl did not. And then we have to hold these people accountable. You know, I've seen a lot of people blaming her. What was she doing outside the house on a Sunday night or whatever? Who cares? Shouldn't we be better at being a community and taking care of the vulnerable and the young? If we see a young girl on the streets, why do we take advantage of her? Why not just send her home to her parents? Isn't that what we should do? Like as a good person, we should be like, hey, you're a little too young to be out here at 2 a.m. in the morning. Let me get you home to your mum and dad. That's what I would have thought anyway, not lure her under a bridge and do those, you know, highly disgusting things to her and then take her life. Yeah, pretty horrible. Yeah, she died. Yeah. 12 years old. Yeah. Didn't know anything in life, right? Nothing. I can't remember what I knew at 12. I knew basketball, sports. I liked cartoons and TV shows. And I thought the world was very, very small. And now I realize how big it is when I'm 40. They said here the suspects, who are Venezuelan nationals, were in the US illegally. US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, added that they didn't know when or where they entered the country. Actually, I think they did find that information. Is that here? Yeah, according to the agency, the US Border Patrol apprehended Martinez near El Paso on March 14. He was released the same day on an order of his own reconnaissance with a notice to appear. I know I'm saying this name wrong. It's not Penna, it's something else. It's got a different letter sounding name. Can't remember what it is though. My Spanish is terrible. It says here US Border Patrol arrested him, the other one on May 28th near El Paso again. On the same day he was apprehended, a judge also ordered him to appear in court later and let him go. Both suspects were placed under ICE hold, so even if they are able to post bond, they can't go anywhere because they'll just get transferred into custody of immigration. So there's those evil people. There's those screenshots. We've all seen those a million times. And there's that, look at this. There's that bridge where she spent the final 2 hours of her night. Awful. Really is. It's almost like the troll under the bridge story, right? And that's how I think of it. Many construction companies hire people with records. I think it's more like any type of manual labor can attract people who maybe not super highly skilled because it's got low low barriers to entry, right? And you can make some decent money. So that it does attract that type of people. And they need people who are cheap and don't ask questions. So if you don't ask questions, they won't ask questions and work kind of gets done, right? So yeah, I understand it happens here too. Yep. Well, there's your update about Miss Jocelyn. All I can say is I hope trial is swift and we're not sitting here for like 2 years waiting to get a verdict. We'll see what happens and we'll go from there. I want to bring you a little update about the weather and then we'll get on to the next story. I don't know if you guys have been keeping an eye on it, but Beryl is just, she's having a bad day. She's very angry. And Beryl is barreling towards the island still. She already went through one. She flattened another. And what was really interesting is as she was going over one of them, she actually started going through what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. And it sort of looks like it's weakening and dying because you don't get that eye in the center. And everyone's like, oh, it's hitting because sometimes when it hits land, they can degrade, lose power. And everyone's like, oh, maybe it's weakening. And then it passed the little island that it was flattening. And then everyone went, oh, no, it didn't weaken. It just got a whole lot stronger. And it made a new eye wall. And this eye wall was twice as large and way more impressive and more symmetrical. Very, very impressive hurricane. Unfortunately, it's going to batter a bunch of places. Yeah, they said here, where is it? Yeah, this is what it looks like now. You can see that eye right here. It looks like twice as large as what it did sort of up here. It was very, very small up here, or at least in some of the other photos. And this was that's when it went across the island and it became very what we call ragged. It's not symmetrical. It's not circular. It doesn't have any, shape to it. And then it presented this. And I know it looks boring to you guys, but look, that eye is just huge. And this thing is just not slowing down. It's got wind gusts in it at 165 miles an hour, and it's pretty close to a Category 5. I'm guessing it may get there. We may see. I can show you a quick explanation of it, and then we'll get on to more true crime.
Look at these pictures here.
Yeah.
And it's like what we saw during the overnight hours, an eye wall replacement. So I want to talk about this because Beryl, you'll notice there, that was right around 4 in the morning. The eye is no longer visible. It collapsed, or so we thought, but then you'll see it starts to redevelop. It's a little bit muddled, disheveled. That's a snapshot at around 6 in the morning. How about 9 in the morning, right before it made landfall in the Lesser Antilles? Wow. a perfect circle, a very, very powerful Category 4 hurricane that didn't get very disrupted as it passed through the Lesser Antilles. In fact, it's maintaining its strength. Right now, for the 4 o'clock update, it's still 150 miles an hour, a very powerful hurricane as it continues its trek in the Caribbean. Now, you'll notice it doesn't have any disruptions here. However, it is going to encounter a little bit more wind shear. So far, it hasn't had any wind to disrupt the storm. That's why it's maintained so much of its strength. As it gets into the Wednesday timeframe, it'll encounter some more wind that's going to rip it apart a little bit and hopefully start to weaken it some.
There you go. There's your little update on it and what it did overnight. So that was pretty impressive. Thanks, Mr. DJ, my Spanish translator. I appreciate it. Spanish/Texan translator. And Danny is my African American/translator. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it'll make mainland USA anymore, or it never really did. There was a small percentage that it might curve and go up into the Gulf, but the models are now saying it's probably going to hit much further south. So if you're in those southern countries, be real careful. This thing is just, I hope this year slows it down because the water temperature is so high. It just feeds it like it's on a supercharger. It'll just keep going unless something can start deteriorating it. Sheer country, like land, something, some other weather system. So we'll see. But the islands it's already gone over have been just decimated. I saw an update earlier today from what country was it? I'll have to have a quick look. It was some tiny little island, and I can't remember its name. Grenada. It was in Grenada, and yeah, apparently they have just been battered. They are saying that it is flattened. There's not much left, and they're saying it's quite a disaster over there. Yeah, so they're saying they're hoping by the time it makes the Mexico Yucatan Peninsula, they're hoping it'll be downgraded to a Cat 1 when it runs into all that shear, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. Forecasting, we only have models. It's not something it's not fully reliable. We have to work off past data, the points we have, things like that. So be careful out there. Yeah, at least it won't hit mainland, but there is actually a cyclone. There is an inverse behind this one, almost in coming from the same place. This one may actually turn earlier, and that's the one maybe you guys will have to look out for. It has a 60% chance of turning into a hurricane. So hurricane season off to a very quick start this year. Very quick. First day of hurricane season, Cat 5. It's going to be a hell of a season. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go back to the firefighters found deceased yesterday. We have some little small update about it, and I'm going to find it. That's not it. Here. WJCL.
Arrested in Pooler after vandalizing Kubander's car. Her mugshot is on your screen now. According to Jane Kubander Chandler's mom, Anderson is currently out on bond. Detectives with Hinesville Police Department say the two were last seen in Savannah at the Crunch Fitness at the Savannah Mall and drove off in a black 2017 Ford Focus with a license plate GEX655. They were last seen Monday night in Cosby, Tennessee. The parents are asking to be on the lookout and be vigilant.
I really just want my son to come home. His whole family misses him.
Yeah, we want them both home safe. But, he's our son, so obviously everybody asks, like, well, nobody's ever said anything about her being home safe. We do. We want them both home. But when it's your son,
it's my child.
you want your son home safe.
I've called the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the FBI Bureau in Memphis, as well as the Hinesville Police Department for any updates on the search for these two, but I've heard nothing new. AJ Sisson.
That was just a little tidbit from the family. Obviously, we know now that they have been found deceased. This was a little bit of update. Okay, that's not it. Hold on, everyone. The link for some reason now has an old story on it, but it didn't earlier when I did it. When I loaded it earlier for you, it had a brand new story. Hold on, maybe I'll go to a different one. Fine. We'll go to a different news agency. It just says here the bodies of the two missing Georgia firefighters were found along Hollow Road, Cosby, Tennessee, Sunday morning. Regan Anderson and Chandler Kubander were reported missing out of Liberty County, Georgia on June 25th. We know that. And we know this little bit too. He was last seen on June 24th at Crunch Fitness in Savannah, Georgia. Anderson was last seen in security footage on June 24th at a gas station in South Carolina. The two were traveling in a dark-colored Ford Focus with a Georgia license plate GEX 655. The car was also at the scene where the two were found deceased. The two had dated for years and were in a toxic relationship, according to Kubander's mother. She gave an interview on Friday, 2 days before the pair were found. The couple had recently split, she said. The day before their disappearance, she, the woman, was arrested. Anderson was arrested. She was arrested because my son was on a date with someone else. She showed up to the place where he was on a date at. She came inside. She confronted him and the girl inside and was just wildly inappropriate. Public records show Anderson left the restaurant and then keyed Kubander's car, broke the gas cap, and broke the rear windshield wiper. Other police records show that Kubander had called the police at least 2 times in the past because he was afraid of Anderson, and afraid she was gonna harm herself. She left a note in her home before she disappeared, according to the police chief. The note would raise concern with anybody reading it regarding the health and well-being of Miss Anderson. WBIR went to the Cook County Sheriff's Office Monday afternoon, but was told the sheriff was busy. Oh, I hate when that happens. I always go to the sheriff and I'm like, can I speak to the sheriff? And they're always like, oh, he's busy. She's busy. They are busy. And I'm like, damn, every time I come here, that's all you guys ever tell me is that they're busy. But they said that the TBI would be releasing more information on Monday. Wait, today is Monday. What are you going to do? Give us our information. No additional information has been released at this time at the publication. Yeah, today's Monday. What's going on? Where's our information? Let me see if we've got it. Because this is the latest link I have posted 2 hours ago. Sometimes being in Australia, I get crappy link recommendations, so. WTZ. This is it. Well, I think we all gathered this, but one of the links I have here says the family believed that he didn't go willingly with her. Well, I think we all guessed that was probably true. We got to play Find the Story. Guys, I'm sorry. I have like 50 tabs open. I've got to find this one that's playing. Hold on, I know how to do this. Give me 1 minute. Stupid links. Stupid links. I don't know why they do this, but this is like a new thing that's been happening. I will play you guys a video, we'll read the story or whatever, and we'll go to the next tab or story, and 10 minutes later, it'll just randomly start playing some freaking political video that I have no interest in playing to you guys. It is so annoying. Drives me crazy. It happens, especially with anyone who's a CBS. Anyone who's like a CBS or yeah, CBS mostly. If you're a CBS affiliate or CBS local station, they're the worst. They always have these autoplay videos and they're always somewhere further down the page. It's like they link stories underneath each other. So we'll be reading about the 2 firefighters. Underneath that, they'll be like, "This is what Biden did today, and he, smacked a pony," or something like, they'll start playing that, and I'll be like, "Well, I don't wanna hear about that." It's very annoying. Alright, here we go, we're back. Sorry about that. Hey, we're back, I promise. Can't believe it's July. It has gone fast this year. I remember it just yesterday, it felt like it was New Year's, and we're having New Year's celebrations, and it was hot here. It says here
It's about that time. The skies over the city of Tampa will light up Thursday night for the annual
see?
Boom by
See
the
what it
Bay.
did? Shut up. Shut up. See, stupid CBS, freaking articles. It says here, and Live on the Live Police reported. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else on this one, and I wanna get away from this stupid link. Found dead in murder suicide. Yeah, it looks like most of the people are saying what we all thought, that this is a M/S. They're waiting for more identification. Yeah, and they're saying no new information has been released so far. Even though they said today we'd get a new update, but we haven't, I don't think. Yeah, alright. That's it. We'll wait. When we get a press conference or something, I'll bring it to you. Let's move on. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of this story. I am still waiting on a update for the 4 people found mysteriously dead in a home in Melbourne. The police have been really suspiciously tight-lipped about it. There hasn't been an update in about a week, and that is abnormal for police down here to have 4 people dead in a home, and the police are just like, "Hey, we're not gonna tell you anything." Now, our police are normally tight-lipped, and they don't say a lot, but they'll at least tell you how they died or the manner of their death. This one, nothing. Let me see if there was anything this morning. No, see, last update for the Broadmeadows, 4 people found dead in a home in Melbourne, 7 to 8 days ago. Last Tuesday, I think it was, when this all happened. No further update since then. Alright, let me get you do you guys wanna talk about the Reid trial for a little bit? Karen Reid? We can do that. So, put your hands up in the air. Did you expect for a mistrial or a hung jury, basically, to be declared? Put your hands up in the air if that was you. Did you think it was gonna be I mean, if you look at the way everyone was talking about it for the 5 weeks or whatever it was, everyone had an opinion, right? Half of the people thought she was guilty, half of the people thought she was being set up or whatever. It really was a divided case. There was no consensus. I didn't see a consensus from anyone. Everyone had their own ideas. Everyone thought something different. So for us to think the jury would be any different is it's quite interesting. But I think we all could have maybe predicted it. All right, let me get you a little video update so I can fix a couple of things. All right, here we go.
From a juror in this case.
WBZ's Louisa Moeller spoke to a woman who was actually one of the alternate jurors.
I just spoke with a member of the jury in the Karen Read trial. She would like to be referred to as juror number 3. Obviously, these folks have been through 9 weeks of hard work. She did not want to go on camera, but was willing to let me take some handwritten notes, and I'll consult them for accuracy. So juror number 3 was an alternate in this trial. That means that she was present throughout the entire trial, could listen to evidence and testimony, but was not present during deliberations. First, I asked her, how do you feel at this moment? She told me, quote, exhausted and disappointed. She told me she was, quote, not in the room where it happens. That's the deliberation. She said, quote, it was a lot to sit quietly in a room for almost a week. There were, of course, 5 days of deliberations. I asked her what she thought about this case and Karen Read's guilt or innocence. She said, quote, I approached this trial as if I was taking one of my graduate level classes. I would get an A+ in note taking. And then I'm paraphrasing here. She says, I believe the Commonwealth did not do their job to convince me beyond a reasonable doubt that Karen Read was guilty. Paraphrasing again, no one saw exactly what happened. She told me that watching both families throughout this process was painful and tragic. And then I asked her about Trooper Michael Proctor's testimony and his explosive and inappropriate texts about Karen Read. She said his testimony would not have, even if it were not included in this case, she still believes that there would not have been enough evidence to convict Read. As for the trial and the jurors, she says it was a lovely group of people. We celebrated birthdays. We even did puzzles together. Now, you've heard from my colleague, Christina Rex, and from legal experts that a jury is supposed to be representative of the public. And of course, if you talk to any member of the public, there's lots of differing opinions about this case. So there will certainly be more information from jury members and everyone else in the coming days. In Norfolk County, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
You know, I don't know what it would be like to be an alternate on a jury panel. You'd have to sit through. I didn't realize it was so long. That is a long trial. You have to sit through that entire trial, take all your notes, do everything as if you are a real participant, and at the end they're just like, "Hey, bye. See you later. Hey, thanks for your work. We appreciate your time for like 2.5 months or whatever. We'll catch you next time at the next trial." That must be really hard because you've kind of built up and you've got your own ideas. You kind of want to discuss it and, talk with the other people. You can't. You're just basically told, you've been chosen to go away. Bye. It sucks. It must be really difficult for the alternates, but hey, it's what we need in case people get sick or whatever. It happens. In the Lynn trial, we were very lucky, but there was a person who had to leave early on Fridays, and that's one of the reasons they stopped at 1 on a Friday. They had a personal matter every Friday that they had to leave for, and the judge made accommodations for that one juror to allow them to get to whatever they had to do on a Friday afternoon, and that allowed the trial to proceed without interruption. And I think it gave everyone a bit of an early week off too. They don't often go late on Fridays anyway. Rachel says, for what bothered me the most about the trial was the way the police handled the investigation. They were so unprofessional and disrespectful. Look, it wasn't one I watched. I know a lot of people were really into it. I only know the base outline of it, of what happened, but I had been keeping an eye on some of the sort of the temperature of the true crime world over it, sort of like, what are people talking about? What's the general feeling going on? And it changed several times throughout the trial. There were points where people were like, no, for sure she didn't do it. And then there was other times where they're like, let's hang her at the friggin', let's burn her at the stake. Get the pitchforks. There was very turning moments throughout it. I don't think I ever saw a consensus once. Really, people were either this town is corrupt and it's full of conspiracy and the cops are in on it, and this person knows this person, and they're a family member of this person, so that means they must be involved. It was very twisty and turny. Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of it. I just kept a outside view. So that's it. I mean, I don't know if the DA has said whether they'll go for another one. Let me have a look. Let me see. I don't know if they would announce it this early. Michael Proctor relieved of duty, state police say after Karen Reed mistrial. Interesting. Says the Massachusetts State Police have taken action against Trooper Michael Proctor after a mistrial was declared on Monday in the case against Karen Reed. They said they drew heavy criticism after testifying in the case for which he served as the lead investigator, revealing a series of inappropriate text messages he sent about Reed. Upon learning today's result, the department took immediate action to relieve the trooper of his duty and formally transfer him out of Norfolk County District Attorney's Office State Police Detectives Unit. Is that basically like you've been shunned by our entire department and no one wants to be your friend? Is that basically the professional version of that? That we just want you to go away? That is brutal. They said this follows our previous decision to open an internal affairs investigation after information about serious misconduct emerged in testimony at trial. This investigation is ongoing. The trial against Reed, accused of killing her boyfriend, a Boston police officer, in 2022, ended Monday when jurors were unable to reach a verdict. State prosecutors say they intend to retry Reed. There we go. There's the update. Wow, they're going to go again? Damn. I hope we don't end up with another 9-week trial. God, putting people through that is brutal. It says O'Keefe was found dying in the snow outside the Canton home of Brian Albert, a fellow police officer with the Boston Police Department. Prosecutors argue Reed hit him with her SUV and left him to die, while Reed's defense argued she was framed in a cover-up involving law enforcement and people inside the home. Proctor became the lead investigator after state police were called in because Albert has a brother with the Canton Police Department, but Proctor's own connection with other witnesses were called into question at trial. Proctor acknowledged that he is close with his sister, Courtney, who is friends with Julie Albert, the homeowner's sister-in-law. See, this is where everything starts to get real murky. The trooper came under fire after testifying about texts he sent during the investigation to friends, family members, and colleagues, including superiors with the state police. In them, he called Reed a whack job and an Australian word that is used widely here that starts with C and is often a euphemism for a female body part. He called her a C. He said he made disparaging remarks about medical conditions and said he had found no nudes so far while going through her phone. Oh, that is really unprofessional. They said on the witness stand, he also said his words were unprofessional and regrettable, but claimed they had no bearing on the integrity of the investigation. Well, no, I think they do. That means that you're an unprofessional dork who wants to go find women's nudes in mobile phones that you confiscate as evidence. There would be serious questions about your handling of an investigation. Are you hitting up these women other than Karen Reed? If you find a hot chick and she's got nudes on her phone, are you calling her up for a booty call later on? Are you pressuring her for more naked photos later on to get out of charges? It just, you start pulling on that thread, you can go anywhere with that. And no wonder they got his ass out of there. On the witness stand, yeah, he said his words were regrettable. They said, following his testimony, legal analyst Michael Cohen said NBC 10 Boston that he said on NBC 10 Boston that it likely was fatal to the government's case, especially as you point out his supervisors were involved in this exchange and didn't reprimand him in any way, didn't even stop the conversation from continuing. Yeah, it does. It shows a lack of standards and it shows a lack of accountability because in a normal workplace, you can't be saying that crap to bosses. I get it's a boys, but you have a lot of women who work as police now, and how would you like it if you'll be like, oh man, I found this totally hot chick and I took her phone. Man, she had heaps of like nude photos on there. I copied them to my USB, for later use, only for like, educational use. Like it's creepy and gross. And I thought we'd already gone past that, but obviously not. It says here the fact is it does taint all law enforcement in this case, and a lot of law enforcement hasn't covered themselves in glory already. So I'm afraid this has put Commonwealth likely in a very fatal position. It definitely doesn't make them look very good, and it makes it seem like there is a system or this just seems like there's no person there that's taking charge and making sure that all standards are adhered to and that everyone gets a fair go. It just seems like a cowboy shop where everyone's just doing whatever they want and no one is being the boss. No one is being the responsible one. Yeah, Boston cops are a force unto themselves. Hey, I have nothing against law enforcement. There's some good law enforcement out there, and they are good people who want to help and serve their community. There really are. There's some people who dedicate their entire lives to all they want to do is help people. There's also some that are freaking crap and get into it for the wrong reasons. They put evidence in red Solo cups. Well, doesn't that tell you everything? Good old boys club. Hate to be a woman working there, right? What if they took your phone and ran it through Cellbrite and took all your friggin' nude photos off your phone? I mean, yeah, they should be looking into, it's like who's running this place? That's a question I would have. Who's the person who's being the adult here and the professional one? Especially if there were superiors in that text chain. You're going to start your own crime kit, but Walmart was out of red Solo cups. Man, they must be doing a roaring trade right now with people making like funny videos out of it, even though it's not funny. There's your little update on it. They say they are going to retry her. I don't know. I think it's very difficult to wipe away the sins of the past when they're already on public record. It's very difficult, and we've seen it in other cases where people have had to be retried over and over again. It's hard to cover up or just get people to believe in something else after you've already been exposed. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's a great idea, but I mean, justice should be served for the guy who died as well. They really do have to find out what happened to him. He deserves to have, his moment to find out what happened and why he died, how he died. So people don't have to wonder for 20 years and prolong the grief. All right. That's it for that one. I have a missing woman. She's right here. No, I'm just kidding. Ping, that's not funny. It's out of Arizona. They're looking for this lady here. Not a great photo, but they're not looking for this person on the horse. Not this headless person. They're looking for this person here. Is standing in front of the horse. Her name is Kelly. She left her West Flagstaff residence for a run and a swim on Sunday afternoon, but did not return. So that must be in Arizona because that is Flagstaff. They said her white Mazda was located at Campbell Mesa Trailhead. She's 45 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, and was last seen wearing black shorts, a gray shirt, and white running shoes. Anyone with information should call the Flagstaff Police Department at 928-774-1414, or you can call sort of like an anonymous tip line. They call it Silent Witness. It's called you can call it at 928-774-6111. Let me see if I can find something else about Miss Kelly. And let's see if I can find out more about how she went missing. AZ family, maybe? Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Just into our AZ Family newsroom this noon, police in Flagstaff are asking for help today to find this missing woman. Now, if you're not already in front of the screen, come over to check this out. This is Kelly Pajkowski. Detectives say she left her home in West Flagstaff for a run and swim around 1:30 yesterday and never came back. They found her car, a white Mazda CX-5, at the Campbell Mesa Trailhead. She was last seen wearing some black shorts, a gray shirt, and white running shoes. If you think you saw her or you can help with this investigation in any way, you're asked to please call Flagstaff Police.
This is the church back in 1968.
You know, they haven't released too much information other than that. 5 hours ago, okay. The Arizona Daily Sun. Okay, she was reported missing at 7:39 p.m. on Sunday after she left her home at 1:30 p.m. the same day. Her family has not seen or heard from her. A white Mazda CX-5 was found at the Campbell Mesa Trailhead, and she was last seen wearing what we said before. Damn, they said search and rescue will begin on Monday in the area. Let me check. It is Monday. Let me check if there's anything on her on here. No, they're saying that she's still missing and they have not located her. Yeah, no other new information. So if they did a search for her today, did they not find anything? Must not have. That's all the information I have on her. That's all they've given out, is that they're looking for her and she went missing in that location and they were supposed to be searching today. But other than that, no latest information. Yep. No idea if they found anything today. No idea if anyone was contacted. Why go alone? Is it a dangerous area, Danny? I have no idea. Campbell Mesa Trailhead. Let's have a look. It's a hiking area. Okay. Let's have a look on the map. Very pretty. Campbell Mesa Trail. Loop trails? Maybe that is a similar area. Looks like there's some water. You got like a big lake here on the edge of this area. Look, Walnut Canyon Lake. And then they're saying this is a trail area. I don't know if it is, but there is a lot of trails. They sort of go everywhere. It's a road. It looks like what I expect of Arizona. I don't know if this is fully the correct area, actually. What is this street? Campbell Mesa Trailhead. It says it is the right area. Forest Road. Okay. Okay, go to this map. Okay, no, it definitely says it's up here. So, I don't know. Could you get lost out here? I would say yes. Where would you go swimming though? There's no water except for that lake here. This is like the only water around next to these homes, like very typical Arizona homes. Other than that, where is there water around here? Is there an aquatic club? That is literally the only water for miles. But they're saying these are the trails over here. Let's see. Campbell Mesa Loop Trails up here. And apparently you go up here. There's all little trails you can go up, different roads. Goes for miles. All up in here, up to about here. So you can go all through here, and this looks like a dead end. Does it just stop? Could do. So it's pretty vast. It's a pretty vast area if they're looking for her. I'm not sure anything else other than that. Flagstaff has a ton of transients. Okay. Moonshadow says Flagstaff is beautiful. That area is not pretty? Okay. What's the weather? Let's have a look. What is the temperature today? Probably hot. Let's look up what it was yesterday, Sunday. Sunday had a high of 29 degrees during the day. Afternoon had in the evening it was 27 with a low of 17. Afternoon was a high of 29 with a low of 27. Can I switch this to Fahrenheit? So it had a high of 84 and a low of 81 during the day. At night, it had a high of 81 with a low of 61. Winds in the winds going to the east of 17 miles per hour. Yeah, kilometers an hour. 17 kilometers an hour. It's not very fast. Bit windy, but yeah, you can see here. You can see here Sunday, 30th of June. So it was hot, not like crazy Arizona hot, but hot enough if you were in a desert area to get dehydrated and, you know. They also had some thunderstorm activity in the afternoon and evening, which is typical for monsoon. That's not abnormal. But yeah, so it was pretty hot. Yeah, they found her car, I'm pretty sure. They found her vehicle. Let's have a look. They said, yeah, her Mazda CX-5, which is white, was found at the Campbell Mesa trailhead, which is that trail I just showed you. So they found her car, they just can't find her. She went out at 1:30, and by 7:39, family had already reported her missing. They found the car, but they can't find her. It says here, she went out for a run and a swim. Where would you swim though? It has to be that lake. That's the only thing I can think of. Can you swim here? I don't think so. I don't think you can swim here. Walnut Canyon Lake. It's part of a HOA, so I don't think they like that type of thing. Yeah, I don't think you swim in this lake. Yeah, it looks like it's mainly for like walking around, and you sort of look at the ducks and look at all the fishes and take the kids for a walk, and there's a lot of water birds, and I don't think it's for going to do swimming in. So where on earth would she have gone for a swim? Unless there's like an indoor aquatic center somewhere that we can't see. What's this place here? A place called Bottomless Pit. Okay. Is there a there is a pool right here. That is an Olympic pool. But is that a high school? Continental Golf Club. Okay. I can't see like any other type of open sort of, free access kind of waterway. Unless she was driving somewhere else, but they haven't given us a location. Hot for Flagstaff? Yeah, I know, 6 hours. 7 PM is still quite light. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like a aquatic center, but I can't see one on here. I can't. I'm just having a quick look around. There's an aquatic center just to the east of there here. I mean, they have like this giant pool, so maybe she was going to go over here after going for a run. It's only about a 2-minute drive away. If you go just here, see? She was over here, and the pool is just there. So maybe she was a member. Danny Mitchell says something is up, I think. Maybe. We'll find out more when the police give a press conference tomorrow. Because I don't see any other... Yeah, hold on. Let me check one other place for information. Right, someone else said, I don't know where she would have gone swimming unless she planned to stop somewhere else after running. Nothing on the trailhead information indicates any suitable water for swimming. You're right, I can't see any water for... Unless you went to an athletic club. Right, so that must be someone in the comments said there's an athletic club nearby. That must be this one here. And it's because it's only just across from the trail. The trail's right there. And there's a baseball diamond here. No, that's a different place. But yeah, that's probably the closest community pool. What is this place? Flagstaff Athletic Club East. Flagstaff. All right. Yeah, let's have a look at the information. Oh, you bugger. All right. So this is that pool we just saw on the map. Reservations are required to lap swim in the east, west, and outdoor pool. Reservations can be made on their app, online portal, or by contacting the front desk. Members can make reservations up to 72 hours in advance. Guests are welcome to make a lap swim reservation if a lane is available when they arrive. Guests cannot make reservations ahead of time. Please see pool schedules for specific lap times. Open swim is available every day. Children are welcome to utilize the pool or whatever. It's open all year round. You just have to be a member. Pool information, overview, schedules. We'd have to download it. So there you go. It probably would have been open. This is the closest water athletics that I can find. So she may have been a member. Dangerous for women to run alone. Yeah, it would be difficult for a drone. All right. I think that's it for this one. If I get more information about her by the late show, I will let you know 100%. Let me go. Let's get a different story. What else do we have on my list of magical stories today? So many kid stories, like kid abuse stories. I've got like 5 of them on my list. I don't really want to read them though. Let's see if we have an update on Martha Unger, that woman who went here we go, 9 hours ago. Oh, found safe. Oh, good news. Do you remember we spoke about a woman and 2 children that may have gone missing with 2 older people yesterday? Apparently they have been located safe today. Good news.
Authorities say tonight that a mother and her 2 children have been found safe. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation issued that endangered persons advisory Saturday for Martha Unger and her 2 daughters from Haskell County, Kansas. The advisory was canceled, though, today after police contacted Unger and verified that she and her daughters were safe.
This is the church back in 19.
All right, let me read what it says here. It says a mother and her 2 children who had been a subject of an endangered persons advisory had been found safe. Great. The Haskell County Sheriff's Office reported to the Kansas Bureau of Investigation on Monday that it had made contact with Martha and verified her safety and that of her 2 daughters. The advisory was canceled after her and her children were located. They don't have any other like update about it, whether they did make it to Mexico. Are they okay? Is anyone coercing them? But I'm guessing police would have asked them that information. Let's see. News Nation. Let's see what they have to say. News Nation says missing mom believed to be coerced into traveling to Mexico found safe. Found and confirmed safe. Great. No details were released about the status of her 2 young children. Okay. Those are some very colorful eyebrows. The Kansas mother believed to have been coerced into traveling to a religious rehab facility in Mexico has been found. That's good news. But that's it. No other further circumstances. Just they're okay and we found them. They need to put a not allowed in the USA on that weird church rehabilitation couple. Yeah, that would be interesting. Thanks, Moonshadow. Yeah, we see. That's good news. Let's see if there's anything about Soraya. I have no update. Wow. This is so freaky that they still don't really have anything about her or her dad. Let's try Aaron. That's really about it. Yeah. No new information on Soraya, the little girl missing in Mexico. They think, along with her father and the father's new partner. I hope they're okay. I really do. I hope the reason we haven't heard from them is that they're not alive anymore. That would be really, really horrible. Let's see if we got anything about Soraya on here. How do you spell her name properly? Right. You would have thought by now they would have been able to track him down. Yeah, no new update really. Still considered a manhunt for the 3 of them, and Yeah. Pullman police haven't put out any new information in the last 4 or 5 days. That's all. Okay, can we get one more story in before the night? Yeah, we can do that. All right, let me grab you another one. Don't want to. Someone sent me an email for Ruby Frankie. There's some images that got released about from the children. I'm good. I don't want to see it. I really don't want to. Let's see. This is interesting. All right, let's go to Haines City in Florida. Come on. What is this? That's not the correct link. Let's go here.
Earlier today, our community was deeply shaken by a tragic event near La Fiesta Mexican restaurant involving a fatal shooting. We are heartbroken by the loss of a 29-year-old female community member who succumbed to her multiple injuries despite the gallant emergency medical effort put forth by first responders. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. At approximately 10:55 a.m., our officers received a 911 call reporting a shooting. The victim had also called 911, courageously providing a description of the suspect, the father of her children and estranged boyfriend of at least 7 years, Rolando Guevara Zarate. Responding swiftly, Haines City Police Department units arrived on the scene within 3 minutes to find the victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and immediately began providing first aid to her. Now, based on the description from the victim and additional witnesses, we identified the suspect's vehicle and issued a BOLO, also known as a Be on the Lookout, to surrounding agencies. Within 20 minutes, a Winter Haven Police Department canine officer supported by the Polk County Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit located the vehicle and began to follow it. As officers moved in, the suspect fled on foot but was quickly apprehended by Winter Haven officers at approximately 11:23 a.m. His vehicle contained a rifle and both were seized for evidence, and we are currently pending a search warrant. Now, sadly, despite the rapid response from our officers, Haines City Fire Department, and hospital staff, the victim was pronounced deceased at approximately 12:03 p.m. Additionally, Zarate had confessed to the crime. He cited concerns that the victim would take their children from him. He also admitted to disposing of the revolver he used during the crime while driving away from the scene. Detectives have since located a weapon that matches the description of this revolver and are currently processing it.
I did notice that. I was like, blink twice if you're being held captive as a police chief. It's okay, we will save you. We like to serve the community. I'll read you a little bit myself then. It says here, a man was arrested after law enforcement said he fatally shot his estranged girlfriend near a Mexican restaurant in Polk County on Sunday. The Haines City Police Department said officers responded to multiple 911 calls reporting the shooting, which occurred in the parking lot of La Fiesta Mexicana restaurant at around 10:55 a.m. That's very early. I thought it happened at night. You say restaurant, and most people go there in the evening. Police said the 29-year-old victim called 911, telling officers that the suspect, Rolando Zarate, was the father of her children and had been her boyfriend for at least 7 years. When officers arrived, they found the victim, who had been shot multiple times. Witnesses in the area provided a description of the suspect's vehicle, which they said was a burgundy Ford Mustang. Police then issued that BOLO that cop was talking about, and they started treating the victim for her injuries. Around 11:18 a.m., officials said an officer from Winter Haven Police Department saw a vehicle matching the description and stopped it, but Zarate fled on foot. He was then apprehended by officers, and his vehicle was seized, where they saw a rifle inside. Despite life-saving measures from the law enforcement and hospital staff, the victim was pronounced deceased around 12:03 p.m. Police said detectives are still processing multiple scenes and notifying the victim's family, but Zarate confessed to the crime, saying he was concerned the victim was going to take the children from him. That's not an excuse to shoot someone. According to the HCPD, Zarate also confessed to disposing of the gun he used while driving away from the scene, and a weapon matching his description has since been recovered by officers. Zarate is facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder, aggravated stalking, and violation of an injunction for protection against domestic violence. The HCPD added that he has a past allegation of domestic battery with the victim, along with possession of cocaine, DUI, possession of methamphetamine, and more. They said if anyone has information that they want to tell the police about this matter, contact 863 427 421 3636. So there you go. I won't take you back to this guy here staring at you on the screen. Right, and then dad's in jail. So your whole worry of your ex-partner taking the children away from you is null and void, because now your children don't have parents at all. Aren't you a clever guy? You're very clever. The smartest man in the room. So I don't believe his excuse of, she was going to take the kids away from me. You just took the kids away from everyone, so they don't have a mum or a dad now. What an idiot. It says here he's been charged with those crimes, and yeah, we'll wait for more information about further court appearances or court dates coming up. Let me switch to a different tab for you so you don't have to look at Spooky Officer anymore. Hey, Retired RN, how are you? I wonder if her family owned that restaurant, because that's really early in the morning, 10:30 in the morning to be at a restaurant. Let me see. Rolando Zarate. Let's have a look. The only update I can find is this one, which is from the same chief. Doesn't seem like there's a ton of information about it. Let me double check. Yeah, that's about it. But horrible to hear of another one. It's better than just lighting the money on fire, Gambler. All right, I'll do your one, Gambler, for you. Sarah Boone. Okay. I can't use their video, buddy, but I can try find a different one. Sarah Boone. So Gambler sent me a thing about Sarah Boone that happened a few hours ago. All right. I can't find a video for you, so I'll have to just read it. But it says a Florida judge has ruled that a woman's conduct has been so outrageous that she has forfeited her right to an attorney, meaning she will have to represent herself at an upcoming murder trial. Sarah Boone is charged with second-degree murder and faces a potential sentence of life in prison if she's found guilty of killing her boyfriend George, who was found zipped inside a suitcase in February 2020. Boone has admitted to zipping him in the bag, but has maintained that his death was accidental and the result of a game of hide and seek gone wrong. No, I don't think so. Boone's case has been pending for more than 4 years because she has gone through a string of court-appointed attorneys, each of whom has withdrawn from her case, citing irreconcilable differences. On Friday, the judge issued a ruling in response to her 8th attorney's motion to withdraw, granting the request and ruling that Boone has through waived by her conduct her right to court-appointed counsel. So basically, she's not allowed to have any more court-appointed attorneys because she keeps chasing them away and wasting everyone's time. In his ruling, Krainick noted that each of the previous attorneys on her case had similar complaints. Mauricio Padilla, who represented Boone for more than 2 years from 2020 to 2022, said he could not offer many details on the irreconcilable differences, noting that he was under the belief that the specifics of the adversarial relationship may disclose information that may prejudice his client, and as such will stand mute on the specifics. Another person who represented her said that Boone would call him 5 to 10 times per day and reported that she would refer to him as a dud and a buffoon. So I don't know if she's doing this on purpose to be annoying or she's just like a nutcase. I don't know if she's just mental or I don't know. Or she's playing the system. Thanks, Emily. I appreciate it. Right, Edget. I agree. Retirer says we all also. Oh, you got wildfires. That's not good. I mean, we have to let the court do that, but I think that video that came out is very damning, right? That one in the suitcase where she's laughing at him, it's horrible. Yeah, that suitcase video, it's horrible, isn't it, Edget? I can't believe she called a lawyer a dud and a buffoon. I mean, this is a person who's supposed to be trying to help you. You're not supposed to chase them away. You're supposed to get them to make you a defense. So, yeah, I get it. Oh, sorry, Edget, if you didn't like my joke earlier. But I appreciate you guys sending me the link for it. Daryl Brooks not let her off, so it won't be either. Yeah. Yeah, that video where he's like calling out for her is really hard. Very hard. I think we're just about done. I think we're just about done for the day. Let me read through a few more comments. Yeah, I don't want to watch the video ever again. It's awful. Hey, guys and girls, we're going to be back in about 2 hours for the late show. So if you want to come back and hang out again, I'll give you the updates from the last couple of hours. We can do that. By the way, to end the show, I want to say thank you to Laura T. and for your very kind message and your donation, which I won't read out, but I'll say I did read it and it was very sweet of you. Yeah, I think that's about it, everyone. Hey, remember 4th of July is only a couple of days away. We're going to have a big 4th of July party. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you're going to be there that night. We're going to watch the fireworks and I don't know. We'll find something fun to look at. Let's have a look. All right. Hey, thank you to everyone. I'll see you in a couple of hours. All right. Bye. Bye-bye.